Welcome to Convo Fango. Today we are joined by the star and producer of Tubi original Bed Rest Melissa Barrera. Yay.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for coming to hang out with us today.
Of course. My pleasure.
So first off, tell us a little bit about what Bed Rest is all about.
Bed Rest is a supernatural thriller about Julie, who is in her third trimester of her pregnancy. And she and her husband moved to a new house in like the suburbs, upstate New York, very, very upstate New York. And she gets put on bed rest, and this house has something going on.
Something, yes.
Something going on. And she's on bed rest alone all day, and she's having these experiences. And she doesn't know if she is losing her mind or if she's actually seeing these things. And so I love this movie because it's an exploration of grief and loss through a mother's eyes, which is so common and not talked about enough. And also the idea of like women being told that they're crazy all the time. And
it's a hysterical female trope.
Yeah. And so that's why I love the script. That's why I fell in love with it. And also, I don't know, like the first time I read the script, I was weeping, literally like weeping by the end. And I was like, this is not normal for like a horror movie or like a thriller. And so I always just kind of go with my heart with when I read a script, and I fell in love with the idea of it being so emotional and having that kind of power at the end. And so that's why I wanted to do it. And I hope that what I felt reading it for the first time is what we make audiences feel when they watch it.
You got me, you stabbed me in the heart a few times and the gut. So I will say that without spoiling anything. I would ask you if there was a particular moment that just really got you, but I don't know if if it's something that's non-spoilery, if you want to share that with us, but
I feel like it's very spoilery if I
talk about it. All right, cut it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you right there. So that sentence of like, okay, you have to stay in bed for 8 weeks, no getting up, except you get you get like very short bathroom breaks and like a 10-minute bath every like 3 days or something. I'm like, to some people that sounds like a death sentence. To some people that sounds like a vacation. Which camp do you fall in?
Death sentence for me, definitely.
I could have guessed that, garnering that you're a producer and a star on this. I figured you probably don't like to stay idle for too long, let alone 8 weeks.
I can't. And I found that after the pandemic, like post-pandemic, I'm even worse.
Yeah.
I kind of need to be moving all the time. And even like sitting down to watch something nowadays is harder for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's our attention spans are getting like shorter and shorter and shorter. But yeah, I think Julie, like my character in the movie, is also a little bit, she's a mover. She likes to be active. She likes to keep going. And I think it's because a lot of times we want to stay distracted to avoid dealing with some pain or some trauma.
Right.
And that's exactly her case. She also has some very painful things that have happened to her in a previous pregnancy. So she's trying to like stay positive and like look at the silver lining and look at always the solution for a problem and not the problem itself. And so it's interesting with her in the movie because it was a discussion with the director, because there's a bunch of scenes where I'm not in bed because she was like, we can't have you in bed the whole movie. People are going to be like bored. And it's hard, it's hard to keep people engaged when you're stuck with one character. And I feel like I've been doing that in my last few projects. And I'm like, people are going to hate me because it's just in my face all the time. But it was interesting to like find that balance of like this woman that's constantly on the move, having to stay in bed, but like knowing that I can like stand up, I can like sit by the window today if I stay there for long enough. Like I don't have to be in bed. I'll just put my feet up. And so we try to like think like her when we were setting up all these scenes where she's actually on the move, so that it doesn't feel like she doesn't care about bed rest. It's just that she's trying to like find a way to make it interesting for her to avoid going crazy.
Right. You got to stay sane, but also be like, all right, I got to keep in mind it's for the baby. I'm not supposed to move around, but also I'm going crazy in bed. How much do you think you actually spent in bed on this shoot?
A lot. And it was honestly amazing. It was awesome. It was awesome to just get to set in pajamas and like jump on a very comfortable bed. Beds are not always comfortable.
Right.
This, because they knew that I was going to be on it most of the time, it was like a very comfortable bed. So sometimes I'd just be like listening to the morning meeting, just laying in my bed. Everyone was like, oh, that's the life. Everyone's like walking around, moving lights. And I'm just like looking at everyone from the most comfortable bed ever. But it was great. It was fun.
They just wheel craft services right up to you. You just don't ever leave the bed once you get on set.
Almost. Honestly, it was
pretty damn close.
Yeah. Because I was also wearing like a belly and it was heavy. I was
going to ask how that felt wearing that prosthetic. And did you like play around with it before shooting, like to get used to like moving with it?
I didn't get a chance to, but it was pretty realistic feeling and looking, and the weight of it too. It changed the way that I walked.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, I'm going to have to like figure out how to walk and how to say, I didn't have to, because it was that thing.
The weight is there.
It like immediately changed my center of gravity. And, it was interesting too, because I was like eating for two, like actually, because you're not seeing your own body all day. So you're like, oh yeah, I can eat. And I was just like eating a lot. And it was also freezing cold in Winnipeg, literally like the coldest place I've ever been. It snowed. I think I got there October 30th or 31st. And then it snowed November 1st. And it was like, I don't know, like 5 feet of snow or something like that.
Oh God. Yeah.
And then it was just snow. Like it never went away. I was like, how do these people do? And my dogs hated it. But it was interesting because afterwards I finished shooting the movie and then I went home for Christmas and my clothes didn't fit. Like actually,
you went real method with it.
I went real method with it. The cold, the the loose clothing, the belly. I was like,
and in bed, you're in bed for most of your scenes are like sitting down. You know what I mean? It's not, you do a lot of action stuff. This movie is not that. You're just like, all right, I got to action it, but from here.
Yeah, it was actually the perfect thing for me to do, because I had just come from Keep Breathing, which was like me running and swimming and falling and like doing all these things and like walking every day. And then I was like, I need a break. And I go and do this movie and I'm like in bed all day. It was the perfect thing to do after Keep Breathing.
I feel like, all right, for your next like 3 movies, if we start to notice a pattern, like I imagine like in the next screen, you're probably running around a bit, and then after that, maybe you're going to do some sort of, I'm in bed a lot.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're gonna have it in your contract. You're like, no, you gotta flip them out one and
it's like all about balance.
There you go, baby. It's balance. Oh man. I know we have to wrap up. So can we do a couple of rapid fires before we go?
Yeah.
Are you a horror fan, by the way?
I have become more and more of a horror fan.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you'll have an answer for this, but if you do you have a favorite Christmas horror movie?
Oh my God. I literally just pressed play on these and music started playing. A favorite horror Christmas movie. I mean, I don't think I can't think of one. I know that there's a movie that just came out called Silent Night. Or Violent Night.
Yeah.
Violent Night. And I'm dying to watch it.
Okay, that's gonna be one of your favorite like genre Christmas movies.
Yeah, it's probably going to. What's another one? Tell me, like, what are the genre Christmas movies?
You know what? Do you like musicals?
Yeah, Spirited.
Okay. Spirited, Anna and the Apocalypse. You got to watch that this year.
Okay.
That's your homework.
I haven't seen it.
All right, Anna and the Apocalypse. And I also I champion this movie. If you like Home Alone, it's like the OG Home Alone. It's called Deadly Games. It's a French movie. It has multiple names, but Deadly Games. It's a French movie. It's a lot of fun.
I love French movies. Okay, I'm gonna see it.
All right,
Okay,
both
great.
of those are your family watches.
Yeah, I've never even thought about like Christmas horror movies. I've never even, and it's not
we just opened up a whole new world, new world for you.
Like go-to in this time of year. I'm like watching literal, just like musicals and comedies and like actual Christmas movies. There's so many Christmas movies coming out.
I mean, I gravitate towards that too, but I also like throw in a dash of horror. But I think Anna and the Apocalypse, I think you'll appreciate, is like a well-rounded balance of all those different things.
I will 100% check it out.
Okay. And last question, if you got to choose your like final girl kill song, like this is the song you're like killing ghosts to or killing Ghostface to, like what would that song be?
So I am obsessed with a song. And have you seen the movie Revenge? It's a French movie.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. And this song reminds me of that movie so much. And it's such a like a gory, like bloody movie that this feels like an epic, like final girl song. It's called This Mountain.
Okay.
It's Mountain by Fauzia. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Fauzia?
Okay.
I don't know. But she's like, I think she's a Middle Eastern singer. And this song, it just reminds me of that movie. And it's like epic and like and like empowering and like it feels very right.
All right, I'm gonna listen to that right now, and then I'm gonna listen to that next time, like before I do an interview with you, and like get pumped up. That's gonna be what I'm listening to.
It's so it pumps you up. It definitely pumps you up.
Like ripping the desk off the wall and shit.
Totally.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much for this. I'm so excited that you not only starring in this movie that deals with a lot of different layers, but also producing. I think that's cool as shit. We need more women in that space. So I'm always like, yes, get it. Yes, yes, yes. And I hope that there's more down the line for you as far as like producing and such. So
thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So good to see you always.
Good to see you too. All right, you guys catch Bed Rest on Tubi December 7th.